Hello, my name's Jeff Banks and welcome to Retail Insights here at Spring Fair. I'm delightfully joined by Samantha Gibb that owns a company called Nest, which is an award-winning small gift business. So we're about to find out a lot about her background with Spring Fair, especially as this is the 75th anniversary. Samantha, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Tell me a little bit about Nest.
So Nest was established over 20 years ago in 2002. We now have 3 bricks and mortar shops, and then we're significantly online too. I actually set it up thinking I was going to be a contemporary applied arts gallery. I'm a potter and a designer by trade. I moved back out of London after graduating and
So you set it up?
I set it up, yes. Yeah.
Hey, were you still at primary school? Or?
Oh, no, gosh, far from it. Thank you, though. I was a designer maker myself in London, had made for private collections, international galleries. My work was very well established and moved back up to Leicestershire, originally from Leicestershire, and thought Nest was going to be a contemporary applied arts gallery. I was tutoring and lecturing in universities. I was selling my work to galleries still, and I thought Nest would end up being a focal point for local British handmade craft. Yeah. But that was in 2002, and it was probably a little bit before its time. And the area we started in, I still have a shop in, and it's a beautiful boutique area of the city, but they wanted products.
In Leicester?
In Leicestershire, yeah. Within the city, but almost a little standalone area, very independent. There are over 60 little independent businesses. Right. And a lot have moved on and changed, but still a really progressive, interesting cultural area.
So was Nest really about ceramics at the beginning?
It was about everything now that you would call sort of contemporary craft. Right. Ceramics, glass, jewellery, wood, and everything that came within that. But very quickly, within the first 2 months, I recognised that customers really wanted product. They didn't really understand at that point where I was, the notion of buying handmade or buying local. Yeah. So I slowly, actually, via the Spring Fair, started buying in products that matched the ethos of what I was already doing, but were very much more product driven. And then over the next we'll be 23 years old this year. Over that span, it's now definitely a contemporary gift shop with always a nod to local or British where possible. And obviously that isn't always possible, but always with the bias of giving the customer what they want within the umbrella of what we enjoy selling.
And how much of it is your personal taste? How much are you the filter?
Oh, that's so interesting.
Goes into Nest.
Yeah, well, I buy everything and I love buying. I undoubtedly love that mix and juxtaposing the products against each other. However, I wouldn't still be in business if I wasn't listening to what the customers want. And so there is a balance between what I would enjoy buying and what I had a vision as Nest for, and now what it is in terms of the customer demand.
Now,
and suitably what's out there.
I won't design or sell anything that I wouldn't use myself.
Really? Right.
That's my benchmark.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, pair of shoes, pair of socks, a watch, whatever it is, that's my benchmark. Do you have a benchmark like that?
I mean, that would be within the umbrella of what I dictate comes into the shop. However, there are some things that I don't personally buy because I am not I don't celebrate Easter and will buy Easter products in, but still they'll be very Nest, I think. And that's what we look for in the end, something that sits, the quality of the product, the materials, the type of company it's bought from. It does look suitable for the shop, certainly.
Now, you and we're quite unique in a way, because I think we're both a combination of designer and entrepreneurial business people.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I like that.
So
yes.
I think we're twins in a way.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I'll like that.
So, do you have an influence on your suppliers, being a designer, of which way their product direction is moving?
I would say now, in the last 5 years, we have an influence in terms of the direction the company's moving in, and if we see niche products that are doing particularly well, we will try and say to the companies, can you do more in an X format or of an X size, because this is what's working and this is what's selling. And I'm quite passionate about feeding that information back to them because it works. And if we get the products that we like off the back of that and we sell successfully, then it's a win-win, isn't it? But we've actually gone one step further than that, and we design and manufacture a lot of our own jewellery particularly, and our gifts.
Where?
Well, we design it in-house.
Yeah.
So I've designed at least 10 of the little motifs that we have as jewellery charms.
Yeah.
We use an external CAD designer who then model makes the particular motif.
Yeah.
And then we work again via a company we found at the Spring Fair, a company that manufactures them out in Thailand, and it's her family's Thailand factory that does the manufacturing for them. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, they're only component pieces.
Yeah.
So everything else to make up the product, we design and buy in as wholesale. And then we have either the staff make them, or we have a series of friends and family as almost like little outworkers.
Artisan.
Exactly that do that. So, and I would say jewellery is one of our biggest departments, and the difference in when we're selling online to selling in either one of the shops, the difference in the demographic is palpable.
Yeah.
But online, definitely I'd say on one of the platforms we sell on 90% is jewellery, and of that 90%, at least 85, 90% is jewellery that we've designed and made in-house. So it's exclusively Nest, and we retain the choices that we give the customer then. And that's all based on what the customers are asking for.
Now, here's a 50-50 question.
Yeah, okay.
How important was Spring Fair to you to actually broaden the width of Nest?
I can't quite put into words how important the Spring Fair was for us. From that very first light bulb moment 23 years ago, which was we can't exist selling contemporary applied arts in the early 2000s, I'd been to the Spring Fair that year. I'd been to the Autumn Fair. I knew which products we needed to bring in board. So the first handful of companies were all Spring Fair companies. And now the Spring Fair is absolutely my go-to purchasing platform.
Yeah. Now,
at the beginning of every year.
Given the success with your jewellery collection, can you actually see yourself becoming an exhibitor at Spring Fair?
Well, if we had time, we probably would. We've been approached by the shops and jewellers, and those products are already wholesaling.
Right.
We just haven't had, I suppose, the time, the clarity to think further than where we've taken it at the moment. But there is absolutely that opportunity there, and it's not something I would dismiss at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of buzz do you get when you actually bowl up at Spring Fair next February?
I'm charged and ready. I am there day one, and I'm still there on the last day. Oh, it's exhilarating. Yeah.
You don't think, oh no, not another fair?
No. 25 years in, and I honestly have never thought that. No, because I cannot see how anyone could go in that mindset, because there is such a wealth of creativity and inspiration. There's new everywhere. You know, everywhere you look, there is something you haven't seen, despite the fact you recognise so much of what's already at the Spring Fair. If you truly love buying and you truly want to give your customers the best experience when they're back in Nest, and you want them to feel that, you know, you want to see that sort of hit of, wow, look.
Do you stand in the shop on a Saturday?
I was there last Sunday. I was selling all day last Sunday, and I loved it. And that was the first time I've worked in one of the shops for years. And that's just because, well, I suppose for the whole day, it's the first time in years. But it's, we're so busy in terms of the buying year that my focus now really is next spring. So I've been out buying already for spring. But being in the shop, it did bring a tear to my eye, actually, because it was just such a lovely, familiar space, and it means so much to the local community as well. And I think that is so important. You can't undervalue.
Do you think buyers these days spend enough time on the shop floor to actually engage with their customers?
Well, I hope they don't. I hope they don't, because how do you know what to look for if you're not listening to what the customers are asking for? You know, every day and every week, my staff will feed back, and we will be so responsive to that. We hadn't got Eid cards 2 years ago. Now Eid is one of our fastest growing departments. And we're manufacturing for Eid. We've got laser engravers. We are creating products for Eid. And it's only on the back of customers coming in asking for Eid that we're delivering that. So I'm not entirely sure how you can buy successfully if you're not listening to customers.
Okay. Next 25 years in retail, where do you see that going? What's the retail horizon going to look like 25 years? You've been in business 25 years roughly. What's the next 25 years going to look like?
Well, I think inevitably augmented reality and AI are going to be playing a much bigger part in society, how we teach our children, how we travel, how we shop, how we live. However, I am hoping, and I firmly believe, that an antidote to that is the reality of gifting and shops that still can exist on a high street, because we are sensory beings. Humans want to touch and see the quality of fabrics and smell the candles and see the plants. We won't evolve as humans faster than this digital world we're living in. So whilst that can be a convenience and it can be something that aids certain parts of society, I am absolutely sure and beyond hopeful that humans still want to be humans in a very sensory way, which includes gifting and giving and living and enjoying, designing and creating products.
Does it worry you that children now are coming back into almost an insular life, actually living in their bedrooms with an iPad or a laptop, not actually communicating with one another, and that actually devoids society of this sense of community?
I think undoubtedly there is.
Giving.
It is. I think we're still living in a complete awareness of what's going on. You know, those that are aware that there is a virtual life ahead of us, but those same humans are the same humans that are bringing up children that remember a time without a digital world. And I, for one, with old teenagers, still understand the pleasure they get when we're camping and when we're fishing or we're cycling. And there is nothing like that feeling. And so providing, you know, we are living within a screen and we are humans, you know, our biology will always hopefully revert to that. There will still be this drive and this antidote. And in the end, in 25 years, hopefully there'll be a balance between the two where they merge.
So
I'm an optimist.
Can you see a resurgence of retail as we knew it 50 years ago?
Yeah, I think there already is. And I think more than ever, we know that the high streets and the communities we're building have to include these pockets and bubbles of bakeries and, you know, barbers and delis. And, you know, look at how many coffee shops exist on one tiny, you know, and that's sensory, isn't it? It's the smell, it's the hit of the coffee. I don't drink it, but I know that desire for it. And if that's there for coffee, it's there in every sense of how we are as humans. But it's the antidote, isn't it? And we've got to sort of find this balance between the two.
So when's the Nest Herbal Tea Shop going to open?
Oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to add that one to my list.
So, what for you is, and I don't know if you go to exhibitions abroad, how would you compare Spring Fair with French or German exhibitions, if you ever go to them?
I haven't been to a lot of them, I've got to say. And the convenience, I'm a single mum, so on a practical level, I'm a single mum with 10 members of staff, 4 buildings, and the practicalities that life affords me are limited.
Right.
But the Spring Fair gives me this isn't a sales pitch. The Spring Fair gives me so much of what I need when I put my buying hat on and I'm a buyer.
Yeah.
Now, in the years to come, when I'm not doing everything else, what a lovely few days I could have abroad. But right now, actually,
it's all there.
It genuinely is. If you spend the time, and I'm known, some of the girls will joke, I'm quite militant. I will walk every aisle twice, up and down, looking at everything. And the gems I have found, I'm rewarded for that hard work. But if you spend the time and you really have your eyes open and you know what your customers want, you honestly don't need to go anywhere else.
Do you know, the one thing that's come out of this is that everybody I've been talking to, they always say, I have to walk every aisle.
Yeah.
And make sure I see every stand.
Yeah,
You never know.
You don't.
What's just around the corner.
You don't. And the company could have been put, one of my golden gems that did as well for at least a decade, they'd been put in the wrong stand with the wrong products. And I was determined to walk that hall. And 3/4 of the way through, I thought, oh God, I really need to give this up. And I didn't. And I found the most beautiful handmade hearts that were made in the Black Forest in Germany. And they were, customers still recall them now, probably 10 years later. And so that's why it's worth doing.
Great. If you had to sum up Spring Fair in one word, what would it be?
Creativity.
Done. Thank you.